PK. Why are they? Obesa Michelle. First one, some number seven kasa. The second one, na me imagine seven kasa. As I became. No problem. You're doing who in near chi. I think last week I couldn't make it, right? So this is my first time on the show. And I would say Happy New Year to everybody. I think that the year is awesome and it's pregnant for a lot of things. You see, Obia Sabe kind of be come. Mama Fisher Perry, I will just break down some small updates via tap one, so I wouldn't take much of our time. This year deɛ nneɛma bebree na yɛahyehyɛ a yɛde ɛbrɛ mu. Wallet no ɛyɛ very close to obiara sese. Nyame nkyɛn de menya privilege ama yɛde maka guinea pigs for no ho. Nti menya access to the card, and I can tell you, you can receive your pay, everything. You can share money through. I mean, they said your normal debit card now is great. Or Europe with your friend IBAN. So in US, you also get your 16 debit. You get maybe sort code and all those things. It becomes like a normal bank account now where you will be able to mass and use them. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Wallets no akaka bi US will be answer the can so this year will be a update na Canada there mmara no so ya na ano odin kakra nti it take time ti we US na just Canada no so follow it will be answer the can wallet no within shortest space within the first the Q1 million so be the row no be answer can nti na the wo ho no ya aka no so promo no so ya hyehyehye the best start say so time as it goes. Another thing I mesre na mesada the customers are say I think for some time for time I launch it tap you buy the support has been immense. Even times are really difficulties as we are suspending customers and still almost support yeah even our comeback and everything. It's the damasi. The double yamasi because it's really coming to personally, I will say thank you to everybody that has been using the app. And lastly, I'll add this: na abusua no yɛ abusua kɛseɛ na obiara wɔn use tap biara no wɔn use bi. I want it to be one of the Ghanaian apps. I mean Ghanaian albums. It should be on every phone to help everybody to send money back home. ATPK, I will not take much time. I will just end here so we can have enough time for Madam Oni. Now, watch a loss now or on. Why? That's it. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you so much, Doc. I am. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with everyone. And the reason why is because I'm actually a fan. I love Tap Tap Sun. I have been using Tap Tap Send now for about 2.5 years, and it's amazing. My family uses it. I've been able to send money to Nigeria, to Ghana, to Cameroon, etc. So it's really exciting to be on this platform, and I just want to give you guys your props and to keep up the great work that you are doing. Uh, now, in terms of who I am, my name is Abigail Oni Wohacha, and I am the founder of Oni. Yes, so it's pronounced Wohacha, but it is spelled with an N. So it is Wohacha, and I want to say Atisan to all my yes. Nah, he's wrong. You definitely got it right, Doc. I sent to all my Ghanaians, to all my Nigerians, how far we day, and to all my Africans, good evening. So how far? So, I'm just so excited to be here again. So I am the founder of ONY Law. ONY Law is an international immigration platform. We serve all 50 states and also abroad as well. We also do consultation as well for people who are outside of the United States. It's an international practice that focuses on primarily US business immigration pathways for people to be able to come to the United States. My background, I'm licensed in the state of New York and New Jersey, and I have a background in journalism. The reason why there's a particular interest for people in Africa is, as someone of African descent myself, I felt that it is really important to be able to give back to my own community. We're based in New York City, but again, it is a fully remote practice. We do have an office in New Rochelle, and we are able to service people all over 50 states. So pretty much the basis of today, the reason why I'm here today is to be able to give you all a strategy, a realistic assessment, and also to plan and something that's honest and sincere on how you can be able to still, if you choose, come to the United States of America through a legal pathway. Can I? Yeah, okay. Yes, I am. No, but I've been to Ghana though. Ghana's like a second home. I said I've been to Ghana. I have a lot of good Ghanaian friends, so it's like a second home. Yes. Really? Why don't you take a guess? Yes, I am. But I don't think there's a beef in terms of someone. Ah, listen, everything is a beef on a soccer field. Ghanaians versus Nigerians, Cameroonians, Ivorians. So you already know how it is on the soccer field. But no, I feel like, as Africans, we are a big family, especially when you're outside of the continent. So I think it's important for us all to look out for one another. No, as I said, I've been in Ghana and I got a lot of love and respect. My Ashanti, my God people, my Ewe people. So it's all love and respect. Really. Okay, fantastic. So first of all, I just want everybody to know your why. Why do you want to pursue, whether that's a second residency? Why do you want to leave your particular country? Why do you want to come for the sake of this session today to the United States? And the reason why I say it's important to know your why is because you want to avoid the mistakes. Before we even get into the different categories within business immigration, I want people to know that it's important to know your why. If you are choosing to come to the United States, whether temporarily or permanently, I always advise my clients, make sure that you still have something back in your country of origin. This is specifically for those who are coming straight from the continent or the Caribbean. You don't want to sell all your land, all your property, everything, and come to the United States and then have buyer's remorse or feel that maybe you should have kept some kind of pathway back into your country of origin. So that's the first thing that I would like to just put out there, is to know your why. The second thing too is to make sure that you have a clean slate. You have a paper trail. You have things documented, especially right now. Right now, the environment is a bit contentious. I think everybody has news. Everybody is watching and seeing the policies that are going into place. People will say that it's a hostile environment right now. Other people will say that this is a good thing that's happening. We need to streamline immigration and those that are coming into the United States. Whichever way you fall on, you need to make sure that you have a good paper trail, that you have things documented, because things are being scrutinized more than ever. And then the third thing I want to quickly say before we go into the categories is to make sure that you have a clean social media. There are instances where people have been denied admission into the United States, or they have been denied their green card, etc., because their social media shows otherwise. So I do want at the end of the, yes, it's a very big deal, Doc, because now you have immigration officers doing a background check on your social media. There was an instance that happened. I'm going to just talk about this briefly, where a young woman was coming into the United States. She was coming on a B2 visa. She was coming here for the purpose of tourism. And unfortunately, on her social media, she had a whole expose, come and meet me. She's selling fashion. She's a fashion designer. She's selling material, etc. Now, her visa was for the purpose of just traveling and visiting, but her social media showed otherwise. It showed that she was coming here to sell merchandise and to do business. So she was on the wrong visa, and upon entry, she was denied and sent back. Oh, yes. Or the right visa, which would have been a business tourist visa. So this is just really important for people to know that social media is being used now more than ever. So please try to go and clean your social media. Make sure that it aligns with what it is that you're trying to do. So with that being said, I'm going to just go into what is business immigration law. So many people, when they hear immigration, they always think about family, think about 90-Day Fiance, think about, I'm sending my family, I want to bring my mom and my dad. I do not do family immigration. What I do is business immigration, which is essentially coming into the United States for the purposes of work or business. There are different ways in which you can do so. You have the temporary, which is the non-immigrant aspect, and then you also have the permanent, which is what we call the green card aspect. These are the two different pathways in which people do legally, honestly, can come into the United States. Now, when you're looking at the temporary aspect, You're not necessarily trying to be here permanently. You're trying to come scope the lay of the land, understand what are the business opportunities that are here for me, or even start a business knowing that at one point you will go back to your country of origin. When you're looking at the permanent options, which are the green card options, the ones that will eventually lead to a green card option, you're looking at permanent residency. So you're looking at legacy. Maybe you want to relocate with your family. What are the options that enable someone to come with the purpose of migrating and staying in the United States? So let's talk a little bit about the different types of the temporary visas. The ones that people know a lot about are the B1, B2. These are the tourist short-term visas. These allow you to come with the intent to kind of just show that I want to understand what is going on. Let's say you have a business meeting. Let's say you're trying to negotiate a contract. Let's say that you need to sign a contract. You would normally come through a business visa for the purpose of transacting a short-term business, and then you'll go back to your country of origin. Another very popular one is the E1, E2, which is the Treaty Trader Investment Visa. These visas are quite popular because it enables people to come into the United States with the purpose of starting a business. Now, with the E1 and the E2 visas, these are treaty visas, meaning the United States has a treaty with the country of nationality. It's based on nationality, not residence. And so with the treaty visas, you need to ensure that your country is part of that treaty in order to qualify under this non-immigrant visa status. You also have the L1. This is the intra-company transfer visa. This one is a popular one that a lot of people don't know about and utilize. This one enables someone, let's say you have a business back in your country, let's say you're from Cameroon or from Ghana, and you want to start a business in the United States. It enables you to send an executive over to start that business because that person knows already the terrain of that business. Think of some of the banks, Zenith Bank, First Bank. If Zenith Bank were to come to the United States now, it would most likely be through an L1 visa in which they will bring some of their employees, start a new chapter within the United States. Then you have the H1. This is a specialty occupational visa. A lot of people know about the H1B visa. This is the one that enables companies to bring a talent into the United States for the purpose of working for that company. Mainly, most of the time, you have tech companies that do this quite often. They will bring someone with a specialty knowledge to the United States for the purpose of working for that company. Another one that's quite popular is the F1 student visa. Many students come into the United States and then they stay, adjust their status into a permanent visa here. You also have the J1. This is the student exchange visa. It's different from the F1. With this one, the purpose is for training and an exchange program with the purpose of going back to your country of origin. Now, with this one, there is a loophole, as with many immigration practices and visas, petitions. Many doctors use this to come into the United States. Maybe they go and attach themselves to a hospital, and then from there, they're able to stay. Even though this requires you to go back to your country, there is a way for you to stay with the national interest waiver if your area, or maybe you're doing research in an underserved community, it can allow you to stay in the United States. I'm going to take a pause here. I know I'm saying a lot before I continue. All of these things have been shaken up because of the policies that have been put in place now. So many of you guys know that there's a partial and a full ban on countries. And a lot of these 75 countries that have been identified, many are from Africa and the Caribbean. So as I'm laying this foundation, I am still going to go back and we're going to talk about this ban and what that means for people as it relates to these visas. So let me continue. Another visa that I'm still in the temporary aspect, is the O1. This is the extraordinary ability visa. Think of someone who's like a genius. Think of someone like a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. You have done amazing in your lane and you're able to come into the United States because of your international distinction. With these visas, you are able to adjust your status and you are able to gain permanent residency. So for example, some of you guys may know people, or you may be someone who came on an H-1B and now you have a green card. Same thing as it relates to an L1 is also very possible for people who are O1 visa holders to adjust and get green cards. So I'm gonna stop now. And now we're gonna move into permanent immigration options. For the permanent immigration option, again, this is for the sole purpose of you relocating to the United States and now having a green card. You are a permanent resident of the United States, and hopefully you will now adjust and become a US citizen. That's why most people do this. With this one, you have, for one that is quite popular, is the EB2, National Interest Waiver. The EB2 is a visa that allows people to come and start a business afresh. Unlike the L1, where you have an existing business in your home country, this one you don't need to have an existing business. Think of a franchise, like maybe you want to start a chain like a Popeye, or you want to open up a hotel, a motel, or maybe you want to start something exactly like a gas station. They say it's kind of like the entrepreneurship visa. You are investing a substantial amount. There's no hard rule as to what that amount is, but with best practices, you're looking at least $150,000 and above. So this one is one that's quite popular for people. And then with the national interest waiver, it also allows you to get the green card because the business that you're doing has a national interest for the community. So separate from the gas station, let's say you're doing research on cancer, or maybe you have some kind of STEM science and technology business that's doing research as it relates to people from underserved communities. These are some of the areas in which you can be able to get that EB2 national interest waiver. Same thing with the EB5. EB5 is the investment visa. Many people call it the $1 million visa. With the EB5, it allows investors, typically between the average, this is not set in stone, each case is individual, between 800,000 to $1 million, to be able to come into the United States with a fresh new business and create jobs for Americans. So that is why it is a favorable one, because with the EB5, you're coming in, you're creating a whole new business, and not only are you creating business, but you're also putting money into the economy. This is not the full list. This is just more of the popular ones. I just wanted to go over it with you all. Now, this has been affected tremendously because of the ban. Now, as of January 1st, there has been a ban in the United States for partial as well as fully banned countries. With the fully banned countries, this means that you cannot come to the United States, whether temporary or permanent. So if it was family immigration, for example, you wouldn't be able to bring, you know, your brother, your sister, etc. But as I'm talking about business, you wouldn't be able to even come as a tourist. You wouldn't be able to come for a student visa. You wouldn't be able to come on a J1. You wouldn't be able to come on an EB5. Same thing for permanent visas. This fully banned list for Africans, I'm just going to talk about African countries. You're looking at Burkina Faso. You're looking at Chad. You're looking at Equatorial Guinea. You're looking at Eritrea, Libya, Mali, Niger, Republic of the Congo, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan. So unfortunately, this ban list, the fully banned list, does not allow for new applicants, whether you're looking at temporary or permanent immigration options into the United States. If you do have an existing application, it will be reviewed. But if you're looking to start afresh, unfortunately, you cannot. Now, we're going to move into the partially banned countries. Again, I'm just talking about African countries for the sake of this presentation. The partially banned countries, think of it as the door is closed, but is not fully locked. There are wiggle ways around it, but it does affect people severely. Same thing, these are for new applications, not existing ones. You're looking at Angola, Benin, Burundi, Cote d'Ivoire, Gabon, the Gambia, Malawi, Mauritania, Nigeria, Senegal, Tanzania, Togo, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Luckily, Ghana is not on this list. And so no, Ghana is not on it for the partial. What Ghana is on it is for the temporary freeze. So I'm gonna also get to that as well. So for the partially banned African countries, this means that you are not able to come for visiting purposes. So if you're looking at coming into the United States for a tourist visa, unfortunately, you will not be able to come. Also, you're also looking at student visas as well. If you're looking to come for a student visa, if you're looking to come for certain investor visas, so that's the E2, that's the EB5. Unfortunately, if you're on this list, you will not be able to. There are some exceptions though, and these exceptions are with the H-1B visa. I talked about that earlier. That's the visa for the specialty occupations. But note that with the H-1B, you also have that $100,000 bond that has now been implemented, meaning if an employer wants to bring new H-1B applicants into the United States, you are looking at giving an assurance of $100,000 on the person's head before you now do that petition. So many employees are not going to be encouraged to go ahead and do that if you can get a cheaper option in the United States. You also have the exception of the L1. Like I said before, the L1, there is an existing business already in your country of origin, and you are now starting kind of like an expansion of that business in the United States. That is also a wiggle room to still come, even if you are on that list of the partially banned countries. The same thing is with the O1. The O1, as I said, an exceptional person who's coming to the United States to create knowledge and share that knowledge. These are people who have exceptional abilities like Nobel Peace Prize laureate level in their field. You can still be able to come through that avenue. The P visas, I didn't talk about it earlier, but it's mainly people in the profession, sports profession. So if you're an athlete, let's say that you guys are coming here for like a World Cup, FIFA, those kind of things, or maybe you might have a professional athletic team, you can still be able to come into the United States to be able to compete. Then you also have the religious worker visas if you are a Catholic father, non-denominational pastor, you still have that category as well. But you can see that it's so important to prepare. And unfortunately, with the partial ban categories, it makes things very, very difficult now to be able to come into the United States. I'm gonna stop here. I don't know if anybody has questions. You can type your questions, and as before I continue. Okay. So what happened is that there has now been a freeze, meaning countries from a particular list that you already have something in process. So let's say that you are in the midst of getting your green card, or you are in the midst of petitioning for a family member. There has been a freeze. Now, this freeze, some argue that it is a permanent freeze. Some argue that it is not a permanent freeze. But the point is that people under this category are not able to go to the consulates and go ahead and get an employment-based visa. You're not able to get, an EB-1, an EB-2, an EB-5. The diversity visa is paused for you as well. The same thing with the B1, the B2, the J1. So unfortunately, it is kind of treated like a partially banned country because it's the same restrictions that apply.
Yeah, because I was hearing something like, so all immigration visas are on hold, but you can still go for.
No, that's not true. Now, immigration, it depends on that's what I'm saying, it depends on the country. So if you're on that list for the partially banned, you are not able to go ahead and get a tourist visa. If you already have one, you can still come. It's not going to stop entry. If let's say you have a visa right now that's going to expire 2029, you can still use your visa. But if you don't have anything right now and you want to go ahead and go file for a visa at a consulate and you're part of this list, you will be denied.
All right, you can proceed.
Okay. So again, this is
Buff, I see you. I'll call you very soon. I wanted to just get a good stopping point. Then I'll just bring all the questions in. But I promise you, you're gonna be the first person that I'll call, Buff.
Okay, fantastic. So again, what I want to say is that times are getting real. I'm not going to lie and say, okay, everything is okay. Not all hope is lost, but this is the time to really strategize. There's always a wiggle room, but with this bans and with things being very gray, and the fact that at the whim of the president, things are changing, you really need to prepare. So the importance of preparation is so key. That means doing your own research. That means also aligning yourself with an expert that can help you.
Are we still talking about the partial or you went back to the business?
No, I'm actually wrapping up, and then
gotcha. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So again, this is really important for people to prepare and look at how can I still be able to come if I choose to come to the United States through the avenue of business immigration. Things are very contentious right now. Things are very gray. So people don't know when are things gonna lift, how long is these bans gonna last. As of now, it's indefinite until further notice. So it's really important to look at your options, align yourself with someone who can help you. That doesn't even need to be me, but make sure that if you do still want to come, this is the time to align yourself with a professional. I really would not advise people to kind of win it and say, okay, let me just see what I can do. I do think this is a time to get expert counsel. And of course, not all hope is lost, but this is the time to be strategic. And at this time, I will stop my presentation. Thank you guys so much for your attention, and I look forward to serving you.
All right. That is awesome. Thank you very much, Lawyer Oni. And let me say, Buff, please get ready because I'm about to be calling you very soon. So let me put it this way. I'm gonna ask all questions. Okay, I know it's gonna get to that point. Before I even proceed, producer, do you mind if you put the HRTV chat room link in there, and also Dr. Iklas, can you put in the one for the Friends of Startups, so that beautiful viewers and patrons can join the link and be part of the family. All right. Also, Lawyer Oni, do you mind if you put your information in the chat room so that others can actually reach out to you,
Sure.
and consult? Daniel, I've seen you. I'll call you after Buff. Buff, I'm waiting for you to put your emoji back up so that I can unmute you. So this is how it's gonna work. We're gonna ask all the questions in the Zoom, and please, if you already typed in a question, I will not call you. So if you want to type the question, fine. But due to time factor, let's try to make time for those who haven't actually got the chance to, have the questions asked. So if I take you up here and I see your question, I will not ask. But if I see your question and ask and I see your hand up, I may not call you. So let's please be mindful of that. Bob, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from and your question.
Thank you so much, both hosts, and
Thank you.
good day and good evening, respected participant.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
a very good evening to Lawyer Oni. I'm speaking from Melbourne in Australia, but I'm a Ghanaian.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah. I wanted to know, though I'm legitimately staying here in Melbourne in Australia as a Ghanaian, am I being affected with these temporary ban in case I want to apply for any sort of visa to the, to the US? All visa types that are currently on hold or partially banned, does it affect me, the fact that I'm holding a Ghanaian passport and I'm applying from Australia, or we are not affected? Thank you so very much for the opportunity.
Very, very good question. So let me ask a question before the lawyer comes. In this case, are you applying as Australian or a Ghanaian? Are you applying with your Australian book or your Ghanaian book over there? Both.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you for the question. I'm still using my Ghanaian book. So I'm flying from Australia with a Ghanaian book.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure the question is clear so that the lawyer can help from that angle.
Exactly.
All right.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will start with this one, and then I'll also do the one that was written. So yes, it does affect you, and thank you so much, Doc, for the clarification. If you are coming with your Ghanaian passport, so I'm assuming that you either you're a legal resident living in Australia, or maybe you have a green card, but you're coming in with your Ghanaian passport, it still does affect you because you are coming in as a national of Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have an Australian passport, so you are not an Australian. So yes, the ban will still affect you, even though you're Ghanaian, but a permanent residency living in Australia. That is the unfortunate thing. It is because the US is going to look at your passport. And if that passport is a Ghanaian passport, it will apply to the Ghanaian national. So that partial ban or the pause, it will still apply to you, unfortunately.
All right. Let's go ahead and take Daniel, and we will go to the messages on Zoom. Then we'll later go to Facebook and YouTube. Daniel, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay, so my name is Daniel, and I'm calling from Washington, D.C. I'm a student, and I have this question. I think lawyer came purposely to this show for me because I've been wanting. In fact, you came at the right time. So I'm planning to, if I've been planning to start a business because I've built a lot of products, and as an international student, I can't sell them, so I have them on my shelf. But fortunately for me, this semester I'm taking a course that and 30% of the mark requires me to sell a product.
Okay.
Without selling it and getting a customer, I'll not get an A. So it means I'll have to get a customer to pay for it. I want to transition that into a full-fledged business after doing that this semester. And I was thinking of the O1 path that, okay, I don't know if that will work, but I still have one more semester, that is the fall, before I graduate. So I don't know, what do you advise on this?
Okay, I'm just gonna ask a few questions. What's your
Okay.
nationality?
I'm Ghanaian.
Okay. What are you studying in school? And what practice?
Um,
Is it a master's or a bachelor's?
yeah, master's in computer science.
Okay, master's.
Yeah, and I'm specializing in artificial intelligence.
Okay. Artificial
Yeah,
intelligence. So
yeah.
essentially, you also have your OPT coming up when you graduate.
Yes.
So I think for you as a STEM OPT, you have 24 months. Yes.
Yeah, extra.
Yeah, you have an extra. Okay. When you graduate,
Fall 2026, this year,
oh, so you
December.
graduate this year. Okay. So
Yeah.
okay. With the extraordinary, so to answer your question, it is possible. I would need to do like an actual one-on-one with you to give you
Okay.
the full details. But it is
Okay.
possible with your status to adjust. You're already here in
Okay.
the United States. You are an F1 student. Many F1 students do adjust. Normally, though, through an employment. So that's usually like the H-1B, but you're talking about through the O1 exceptional ability. The issue though
Yeah.
with the O1, which is the best option for a founder, because essentially what you're saying is that you want to start this business. So this your kind of like your research project. You want to be
Yeah.
able to register it and be the founder of this business in the United States and run it as the founder, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So that would be the normal option. That would be the best way for you as a founder. The only thing with the O1 extraordinary ability is that it's a very high mark. This is not just like, okay, I have clean record, I have money in my account. You need to have heavy evidence of like media publications. You need to have, awards. You need to have speaking leadership opportunities. Now,
Okay.
why you've been here in the United States? Have you been in any publications? Have you received any awards? Have you been in any panels as an expert?
Okay, so of course I took part in a hackathon on campus, and my team got the third position, and I also took part in another hackathon, which is a global hackathon. But even though I didn't win, my name, like with the school, was listed publicly on their website as the finalist whose work stood out. And they actually wrote to me seeking my permission to use my work in their media outlets and their social media pages here. So even though I've not really won like a first position or anything exceptional, but there are kind of slight traces of those.
Okay, I want to just be straight up with you for purposes of time. This is going to be, to get the O1, it's going to be an uphill. It's going to be kind of an uphill. I don't think you will qualify for an O1 just based off of what you said. O1 are people who've been like, you're featured like on CNN, on BBC, like you're on Forbes 30 under 30, you're on the list. You are known for what it is that you do. So being on a hackathon and being featured at school, that is not enough media weight for you to be able to qualify as an O1. I think for you, probably the easiest way, because it would have been maybe an O1 or an E2 treaty, but Ghana is not part of the E2 treaty now.
Okay.
Will most likely be an H-1B, but it would have to be structured in a way that would work. So you
Okay.
are the founder and then it's sponsoring yourself. It's a bit intricate. And again, we could talk about that at
Daniel, I would
Okay.
suggest you kind of message, because if not, you will let the other viewers beat me up today. But by the time I walk out of the studio, they'll be waiting for me. Thank you very much, Daniel, for such a great job, and I'm very excited about the good works that you're doing out there in
yes.
Washington D.C. Keep flying the flag high. Joy
Thank you.
Obihara says thanks Oni for this great information. She omitted a lawyer about attitude. And Ahienyi Ahukana says this is so informative. Chioma says, what is the L1 visa? But I think when she asked the question, you had just answered it
Yeah.
when the question came, because I saw her question earlier. So Chioma, it's already answered. Then Gifty Zaifa says, what if you are in the US and your green card is about to expire? Can you go ahead and renew it?
Yes, I mean, it depends. If your green card is about to expire, it's so many reasons. So one, what is your nationality again? You should be able to renew your green card, but unfortunately, there is some restrictions for certain nationalities as it relates to even renewing your green card. But because you're already of legal status, those things should not apply to you. So you shouldn't have fear. You should still be able to renew your green card.
Okay. Clement Avoca says, so does this freeze affect pending I-140 and I-485 applications?
No, it does not. If your thing is already pending, it should not affect you. Now,
Okay.
there has been instances where people say, oh, I was, about to be sworn in for my citizenship, and then they came and asked me, what, are you from Somalia? Oh, come out, you're not going to get sworn in. This is hearsay, these are stories. But if you have a pending one, it should not affect you. In fact, as we speak, people are still getting approved and they are still getting their green cards and their citizenship.
Okay. Bruce asks, can one still go ahead and apply for a student's visa F1 or a J1 visa if one receives an offer?
What is the nationality of the person asking the question, please?
Let's assume Ghana, because that was where the freeze was coming from.
Okay. You can go ahead and do many things. Unfortunately, you would be wasting your time. The schools can still go ahead and give you, let's say, an offer. So you can get admission and offer admission to a university. But if your school, if you are a national of the partial and the fully banned countries, when it comes to the United States giving you the visa for you to actually come into the US, you will not be approved. And these are for new cases.
Okay. And I think that goes for even the permanently banned too.
Yes.
Aisha took the words out of my mouth. How much do you charge per session?
So my consultation is $250, but I am doing a promo for people who are on this call. So if you reach out to me, and I'm going to drop my full details towards the end, just say tap send, and you will have a discounted price. So we will be able to speak for $100, and that's for 1 hour in which you can use the money. Let's say you want to retain me, you can use that toward the retainer itself.
Okay, thank you. That's good. So please make sure you take advantage of this session and do not wait till it expires. She hasn't said expiration day yet, but I'm not gonna ask her for us to put any on it. So make sure you reach out as soon as possible. Gloria asks, if your husband is going for a visa interview in Ghana and the date has been to him, I don't know, maybe the date has been sent to him, what do you think he should do now that Ghana is included on there? This statement is a little bit incomplete, but I think we can wrap our mind around it and know exactly what she meant.
So you're saying that if your husband, has he already received a date?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what she's trying to say, but she omitted that.
So we have not seen instances in which people who have received you know, a date where it has been revoked. In terms of like, okay, this is an automatic cancellation. I think it also depends on what the visa is for. So that's why I don't like to answer kind of like blanket questions. You have to give me a bit more details. If the interview is for one of the work visas that will still apply, let's say it's for an H-1B, it's for an L-1, the person will still be able to qualify and get that visa. But if it is for something that is now banned because of the nationality, then you will not qualify. So I think that it really depends on what the visa is, in order to be able to prepare yourself for the interview. It is possible that it can be retracted, even though that should not happen. But definitely, if it's the visa that qualifies regardless, you should be fine. So if you want to talk more, you can also, you know, you can ping me. I also do offer a free 15-minute session. So let's say, you know, it's not as detailed. The hour is going to give you strategy and it's actually going to give you legal advice. But if you wanted something that's more generic, you can also hit me up for the free 15 consultation.
Okay. And the website is www.onylaw.com. Please
Yes,
go to the website and just book your free 15 minutes. And if you want to go ahead and schedule your 1 hour for the $100, take advantage of that. And I'll say if you're not sure, you can do the free 15 minutes. And once you get excited about it, you can go ahead and like, hey, since I'm here, can we go ahead and just schedule the 1 hour right away?
Yeah.
Please do not forget to click on the HRTV link. That is a link that we discuss topics that we want to treat right here on the show, Time with Tatapsen. Like I said, this show is fully sponsored by Tatapsen to bring you nothing but education and also information that will help you navigate through life's journey. All right. Gloria, I see that you have your hands up, but we already asked your question. So I don't know if you want to use your free 15 minutes here. But let me get through everyone. Once I get through everyone and there's still time, Gloria, I'll give you the chance to ask. But let me run through all the questions for now. Bright asked, how does this ban impact those of us who have applied for our siblings 10 or 11 years ago?
If you have a pending application, you should not be affected. This ban, as I've said before, is for new applicants. It's for new applicants who are now petitioning for their siblings or, you know, whomever.
Okay. And Bob said, thanks, Lawyer Oni. Before we get iPhone, let me go ahead and get Nana. Nana, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from.
Hello, I'm calling from the US. I have an
Yes.
H-1B
Nana,
visa.
Nana, what part of the US?
Oh, sorry, New York.
Okay. All right, go ahead with your question.
So I have an H-1B visa that expires this year. My company intends to renew for me or for us. Are we also affected because we are Ghanaians and we are going to renew with our Ghanaian passports?
Your company can go ahead and renew your passport, sorry, your visa, which is the H-1B. It does not stop H-1B renewals. As I said earlier, it does not stop H-1B renewals, even if you are Ghanaian. And most of the ban situation is for consulate processing. So meaning you are outside of the United States and you are trying to come into the United States. For those of us who are already in the US, even if you are from a banned country, there's always a loop around. But for you, because it's an H1, you should be fine in terms of your sponsor company being able to go ahead and renew your H1B or file for you.
All right, thank you very much. iPhone asked, I can even answer your question. Can green card holders do their citizenship in this ban? Go ahead, Leone.
Yes, green card holders can go ahead and apply for adjustment of status.
Okay.
As I've said before, this is really for people who are outside of the United States. But, and a big but, everything is personal. I don't like to do blanket answers like the woman before me. Hers is very clear. She's a Ghanaian, I'm assuming, and she is on an H-1B. She's in the United States and they want to renew. H-1B still qualifies for renewal. She's good. Now, the question of can green card holders go ahead and adjust to get citizenship? It depends. I don't know what your background is. If you have a criminal background, it's going to affect you more than before. You know, if you owe child support, it's going to affect you. There's so many things now that are affecting people in which before, you know, people would turn a blind eye and you can go ahead and get your citizenship, but now you can't. So again, if you want to get specifications in your situation, you can hit me up for either the free consultation or for the paid one.
All right. Impressive, Daniel. This is coming from S. That was the hackathon that Daniel got involved with and stood out. Lily said, can you still file for your parents through the NVC?
What is your nationality?
Oh, Lily didn't state that. I am pretty sure it talking about the Ghana part.
So if you have not already filed for your parents, unfortunately, you would be affected because embassy visas issuance, it may be paused. You can go ahead and file, but if you are a Ghanaian and this is like your first, you have not already started the application. It's not a pending application like the woman earlier, but I didn't know what it was for. It is possible that your parents, it could be from a partially banned country, which is Ghana. So again, you can come and talk to me more so that we can get a clarification on your situation. But if it is a new petition, yes, it can be paused. If it is an older petition, it should not be. Same thing with the gentleman who asked the question before, which is, you know, can green card holders still apply for U.S. citizenship inside the U.S.? Yes, you should be able to, but again, each situation is different.
Okay, and I believe this response goes exactly to Richard. And Richard said, hi, thank you for this presentation. Question, can I file for my mom in Ghana to permanently join me here in the States? I'm both British and American, and pretty much is the same thing because now you're about to start the process. I'm going to go to the next question. William Prince asks, can a green card hold, I think it's meant to say, can a green card holder travel from freely even if your country is on the visa restriction list? Yes.
When you say travel freely, you mean travel
So you know, back in the days, a couple months ago, there was an issue with if you're on green card, traveling can be an issue. Just try to lay low, and basically that low key traveling thing that came up, everybody was scared, and it was creating a lot of fear and panic. So with this ban and restrictions coming up, people are still under the assumption that even if I'm a green card holder, it's going to be a problem for me to travel back to my country because coming back can be a problem, but you're already a green card holder.
I understand. No, thank you so much for the clarification. So just to make everybody not to be so stressed, because I can feel it through the phone. If you have a green card, you should still be able to travel. You can travel. Let me say you should still be able to. If you are a permanent resident of the United States, you have a green card, you can travel. You can go to the Bahamas, you can go to Bali, Fiji, have a great time, come back. The issue now is you want to be a bit more cautious. So before, people will have a green card and they literally live 12 months out of the year. They're in Ghana. Let's say they're in Ghana for 9 months, then they come back for 2 or 3 months, and then they go back. Gone are those days. You don't want to do that. So you should definitely avoid staying out of the US longer than 6 months.
6 months.
You should try, if you're going to travel outside of America, do not stay longer than 6 months. Why? Because you give the risk of abandonment of this residency that the US has issued you. If you live in the US, why are you out longer than 6 months? Try to avoid very long trips. If you want to take a long trip, break it up. So instead of you taking that 9-month siesta, do 3 months here, 3 months there, and then you come back into the US. So that would be my advice. The other thing I would say is to be very careful in terms of the activities that you're doing outside the US. Criminal history is important. If you know that your background is a bit shady, you want to be as clean as possible. Avoid risky investments. Avoid allegiances with people who already have a criminal background. Again, like I said earlier, be mindful of your social media. So these are things that you want to be, careful about. So to answer your question, yes, you can travel outside of the United States as a green card holder, whether you're on a country from the partial or the permanent ban, but try very much so not to do it more than 6 months.
Okay. Banahin Amos asked a question, and he asked, how much does it cost to file for a green card as an H-1B?
It depends on your situation. So when you hit me up, I can give you the price.
Okay. Lily asks, can a U.S. citizen still apply for parents to come? And I think, Lily, your response is proud to in the response that she gave. If you're about to do it, then yes, there's going to be a lot of problem. But if you already did it, then you're already good.
No, even if you, she said a U.S. citizen, right?
Yes, apply for the parents come.
Yeah, you can go ahead. U.S. citizen.
But then there's the freeze.
You're a U.S. citizen.
Right.
U.S. citizens can apply for parents. The only thing is that U.S. citizens, we have the right to apply, right?
Right.
What's happening though with people is that they're using, I don't want to say flimsy excuses as a reason to deny you and say, no, you cannot. But U.S. citizens, you do have the right to apply for your parents, especially if it was a pending situation. Does that make sense?
Right. But what I'm saying is you're applying for your parents coming from Ghana. Is the freeze not applicable to it? Because the freeze is all immigration visas.
The freeze does apply. It still applies. So for parents, you are on the pause list. So if you're applying for an I-130, it is allowed, even as a U.S. citizen with a parent coming from Ghana. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right. So they'll be able to get a date and just go for the interview?
They'll be able to get a date and go for the interview. What is happening right now, though, is because as a U.S. citizen, you have the right to do this. They're finding flimsy excuses as to why you should not get. So you have situations where U.S. citizens have gone and applied, and they're saying, for whatever reason, we feel like your parent is a risk. It'll be a risk to, a social risk. They're going to go on welfare, yada, yada, yada. And then they're denying cases. So fundamentally, you can, but practicality aspect, most likely you're going to be denied. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you see, it's money that you're applying with those. So if I know that I'll apply and there'll be a denial, why don't I wait till the freeze is over?
Exactly.
All right. Abisola. Hi, thank you for this forum. Due to the current political atmosphere, on what conditions can a naturalized citizen be denaturalized? Oh, okay. Let me take it back. Due to the current political atmosphere, on what conditions can a naturalized citizen be denaturalized or caught up with ICE agents?
That's a beautiful question. So I want to say this. The naturalization issue is a valid concern. People are really, really scared because of the way things are going. Now, normally, naturalization is a very big burden for the government to prove. It used to be where you have like 1-2 cases a year. But with the whole ICE implementation, there is a demand for more denaturalization cases. So as it is right now, it's usually fraud and misrepresentation, acts of terrorism, acts of war, in which someone can be denaturalized. So let's say you want to go, and fight for Boko Haram and then come back that is definitely a way for you to be denaturalized. So let's get a bit more specific. With the fraud and misrepresentation, there are some loopholes now under that category. For example, a fraud can be you lied about a prior marriage at the time of your citizenship. Let's say that your marriage was a scam and they find out. Or let's say you had a criminal history and you withheld that information knowingly and they found out. Or let's say you use a fake ID. Maybe you use your auntie's name and your auntie's social security number and they find out. These are now becoming common reasons for denaturalization. So before, it used to be a very high bar, so like extreme acts of like drug trafficking, violent crime. But now, because of the fraud and misrepresentation, it's a matter of interpretation. So there are not a lot of cases yet now for this denaturalization. We're still examining and seeing how, how it's going to pan out. But that's really the category, if somebody were to be denaturalized, that they will most likely fall under. And this is all at the point of your citizenship application, if it were to be reviewed and discovered. Please know that this is still something based off of, the government proving. Sorry, just
Okay.
1 second.
All right. Whilst we are waiting on Lawyer Oni to come back, we have about 70 minutes to wrap up the show. So I'll say keep bringing your questions, because once I get to the last question, it will be difficult for me to just, pick anyone else. So please note that. Also, I want to remind you that the HITV platform has been posted on links. So if you're a newcomer, you're not familiar with the platform, please click on the link and join it. What we do is to discuss topics that we want to bring on the show. And also, A-Class should be dropping the Friends of Tatapsin platform. And that one is solely to discuss anything that has to do with Tatapsin. All right. Leonie, can we go to the next question?
Yes. And I think I might how many more questions do you want to take, Doc?
So I know we got 16 minutes, so we're just gonna keep taking till we get there. I just hope that the questions will be quick as possible, and also the response will be just straightforward to them. Then we can get more in. I know once it's 7:30, we have a hard stop for you, so we'll just get in as much as possible. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Relevant asks, if you are in the U.S. legally and happen to have received an assistance from a food pantry via a church, does that affect the replacement of your green card if it's got lost in the mail and you never received it? I asked because of the current issue. Although the food pantry, as I know, is not sponsored by the government, but has a little support from the government. A Ghanaian, please.
Okay, I'm trying to understand. Are you saying, you're concerned about government assistance because you are a green card holder and you're looking to adjust your status to citizenship?
So I think this person is just getting assistance from the food pantry, from the church food pantry. And basically want to know if that kind of replaces, like if that can affect his replacement of green card because his card got lost. Honestly speaking, if I ain't gonna lie, this person needs to call you and get more details, because it looks like there are a lot of missing parts to the so relevant. Please reach out to Lawyer Oni and just talk. Aisha said awesome. That was when you gave the discount on your price and when she asked how much you charge. Lily comes back to say, can a U.S. citizen still file for the parents? The lawyer responded to that. She said yes, but probability of being denied is great. Nana asked, I am a Ghanaian with a H-1B visa. My first contact ends this year and my company wants to renew another 3 years. Will it after my renewal?
No, it will not. You should be fine.
Okay. Kofi Said, if I have an I-130 petition that is already approved and waiting for interview date in Ghana, is that affected? You already responded to that.
Yeah, no, you're done.
And well, you put a link for oh, that's the schedule link. Please click on the schedule link. The number to lawyer only is 347-503-0520. Again, the number is 347-503-0520. Lily said, what about for parents? Lily, I forgot what your previous question was. Juliet Owuzu said, hello, I thought the information about the freeze visa was on immigrant visa and not immigrant, what? Oh, it was on migrant visa and not immigrant visa.
No, it's
Can
both.
can you explain this further? Thanks. Okay, she said it's both.
It's both. So the freeze is on both. But there are exceptions. So depending, like I said, if it's like an L1, if it's an H1B, there are certain exceptions. But as of right now, it's on both.
Okay. Akosiaka says, thank you. Pending application for U.S. citizen parents. I think pending, you said pending is good, right?
Fine. Yeah.
Okay. Gloria asks, I am a U.S. citizen and I filed for my husband in Ghana and has been given visas interview dates this coming March. So what's going to happen because of the ban? Well, she said if you're already in the process, you should be fine.
Yeah.
And Lily said in Ghana. Go ahead.
You said he has a when is, oh, well, we can talk more to know like when is his interview date. Because you know, Ghana is still under the pause. But if it was pending, you should be fine. But again, if it's a new one, then you should have concern. But if you want to reach out, it'll be nice for us to talk because unlike before, when it has to do with like relationships, so husband, wife, you just don't touch it. But there are instances in which people are actually being denied. This is even prior to the ban and the pause as a spouse. So things are much stricter right now. I'm assuming that you're filing for your husband to join and meet you. So we can chat about that. But as I said before, I don't do family immigration. I do business, but I can still refer you out or be able to answer your question.
Okay. William Prince asks, can a Nigerian citizen with permanent residency travel out of the country freely?
Yes.
Yes, that's already been answered. Salu Mama asks, nationality Benin, West Africa. Case scenario. Oh, okay. Salu, please reach out to the lawyer. That's vital information that I do not want to read out to to the public. So Salu, please reach out to the lawyer. Patience Autry said, can a U.S. citizen file for the kids in Ghana?
Unfortunately, the ban will affect new applicants. If you have already filed, then that's a different situation. If you're planning to file, it will affect you, but there are instances, even with the partial ban in which you can show like extreme hardship. So again, you can reach out to me because when it comes to children, that is quite sensitive. I don't do family law, but I can still give you my guidance or refer you out if your case is complicated.
Okay. Clem Avoca comes back and asks again, thank you for the wonderful response. Can F1 student file for EB2 or EB1A?
And F1 student can adjust their status to many different ones, including the EB1. It depends on your situation. So again, we can talk. The one that I would say that's most important for F1 student, make sure you do not go out of status. So as you have your OPT coming up, whatever it is that you want to adjust, make sure that you are not going out of status. And if you are one of these countries, whether it's banned partially or fully, you do not want to leave the United States because it's going to be very difficult for you to come back. So again, that's something that we can talk about and strategize for you.
All right. Millie asks, thanks so much for your time. I'm an F1 visa holder and I have applied for an F2 visa for my spouse, but we haven't been able to book an appointment since there is no appointment date available as of last November. So what would you advise me on that, and does it affect the F2 visa?
Okay. So what nationality are you?
She did not state yet, but hopefully it comes down in the message.
Okay. So if you are doing it right now, so let's say you are a Ghanaian, it may be paused because it is being paused right now. So the F2 is, for those who don't know, is for dependents. So dependents can also, which is tied to the F1, they can go ahead and apply.
Okay.
So with the F1, dependents are also paused. So it really depends on your situation. I'm assuming that both you guys are in the United States. If you're in the United States, there should be a way around it. If your partner is outside of the US, let's say they're in Ghana, and you're filing for them at the consulate, they will be affected if it's a new application. So you can reach out and we can talk.
All right. So Lloyd Jones asks, I am a U.S. citizen trying to get my wife here since 2017. Is Ghana restricted? Lloyd Jones, before the lawyer respond, I'll say try to reach out to the lawyer because I think try to get your wife here since 2017 is kind of too long. So just reach out to the lawyer and see if there's something that she can help you through or refer you to the right Cortez. Do you have anything to say about that before?
Yeah, same thing. There are situations, if it's from my experience, as I said, I don't do family, but I'm just gonna go ahead from my experience. People that have had a difficult time bringing their partner, most times there is something wrong with the application. So there's either some kind of fraud detected, maybe the person has applied to come to the United States previously, and then they decided, let's not let the consulate know this time where they ask, have you applied before? They might say no. And then it will still come up because it's tied to their number, their passport number, etc. So if it's taken a long time like that, there might be underlying issues that is even outside of the ban. So yeah, we can discuss that.
Okay. Caleb Jeffrey said, I am a Ghanaian based in the US and I want to apply for a green card through marriage. Am I going to be affected? Caleb, call the lawyer. All right. Please make sure you click on the HRETV link and also the Friends of Top link as well. Relevant said, yes, just assistance from the food pantry. Again, Relevant, please call because your question, I think producer kind of posted your question again, but I think they're still missing some parts of it. Ned Hicks says, if a Ghanaian woman in USA and married to an American has a working permit and she has opened a healthcare company here in the USA, New Jersey, who can that person put her company? Why are we speaking in third person to make it complicated? Who can that person put her company in visa allocation for people in Ghana? You got to help me decipher this message.
Can you just repeat that one more time, please?
If a Ghanaian woman in the USA and married to American and has a working permit, she has opened a healthcare company here in the USA, New Jersey. Who can that person put her company in visa allocation for people in Ghana? I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't understand the question, but I'm just going to assume that you're saying you are trying to open up a business here in the US. So you want to know.
No, they're not trying to. They have already opened a business.
So you have a healthcare company in the US.
Yes.
So you're trying to see, can you bring employees from Ghana?
I think the substantive question is on who can that person put a company in visa allocation. That part is what is throwing me off. Who can that?
I think what they mean is, can they bring people from Ghana to the US to work for
To work? Okay.
Yeah. So yes and no. As we said before, there's a ban. So certain visas are restricted, but in this situation, I'm assuming you mean people coming from Ghana to help with the healthcare company. There can be an exception. So there is a visa for short-term or seasonal workers. These are workers who are not high-skilled workers. So they are people who work in hospitality, cleaners, babysitters, etc. this particular category has not been banned. So it's possible. Again, you can reach out to me and we can
Okay.
explore further.
All right. Then it asks if you said we should type startup in the coupon section.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Robert Boachi said, I'm a Ghanaian and a PhD, and I hold a PhD in finance from Ghana with about 8 years university teaching experience. I am currently in the US pursuing another PhD in math with F1 visa. Do I qualify to apply for the EB2 NIW?
So
More grease to your elbows, Robert.
you said, do I qualify to apply for which
The
one was the EB2?
NIW.
Okay, so it depends on what this research is. I'm assuming that the reason why he's saying the EB2 national interest waiver is because, you know, the impact that you're going to make in the US. Just on the surface alone, yes. You qualify because you have an advanced degree. For you have a master's or a PhD. And then on top of that, I'm just going to assume, because PhD automatically qualifies for the national interest, I'm assuming that whatever the proposed work you want to do, you know, it has a substantial merit, it has a national importance, and it can help the United States. Of course, this is like, you got to frame it correctly. So maybe it's in fintech data, whatever. So based on that, you should be able to, but again, it really depends on, you know, your circumstance. So I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
You can.
Well, due to some factor, we only have 2 minutes left, so I'll try to get in 2 questions. Millie said Ghanaian, and like I was suggesting that it might be Ghanaian, but you already responded to Millie's question. Samsung, I'll take Samsung, and after that, I'll take one more after Samsung. Samsung SM says, please, if you have an H-1B visa and you want to apply for visa for family in Ghana, are you affected?
For the H-1B, because that is an exception, you should be okay.
Okay.
But again, it depends on the situation. Remember with the H-1B, it's not you, it's the employer that's filing for you.
Right.
So once the employer is filing for you, you have the right to also include your family. So it really depends on your situation. And we can talk about that.
All right. Caleb says, okay, thank you very so much. We're going to take our last one, and that will be from Ezingwani. Ezingwani says, thank you so much, Oni. Very informative session. My question is, as things stand in the U.S. now, is it advisable to come to the U.S. or not?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. Well, you know what? It really depends. Like I said from the beginning of my session, you want to ask the why. Why do you want to come? It depends for you. Are you looking to relocate to have a second passport? Are you looking for legacy options for your family? If you feel that the country you are currently, you can still be able to expand in your business and maybe just come to the US for visit. This is assuming you're not from a banned or partially banned country, then I would advise you to look at that option as well. Also remember, you also have Canada, but you should also look at the US too. So despite what is happening in the climate, I wouldn't advise people to run away from the United States. I just think now more than ever, this is the time to look at your own unique situation and not necessarily what everyone is doing, and to decide if leaving, if to Japa, if to relocate is the right option for you. It is very specific to each person, and I'm happy to guide you on that.
So, please, before I get beat up today, Joy said, please answer my question. Joy is not playing with me, and I will actually make Joy's question the last one, I promise. Joy, I'm trying to type on your question. Now the screen has frozen on me. Oh. Yeah,
Okay.
Joy will not forgive me today. Caleb, I did drop the lawyer's number again, so please look at the chat. You will find her number. Yeah, Joy, what's your question? So Joy says, how can a medical personnel file to bring their business into the United States? Joy, I have asked a question for you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful question.
It is.
Yes, because many people are in the medical field. Like I said, there are certain exceptions. This is one, assuming you're not on the ban or partially banned. And even if you are, there are exceptions such as the L1. L1 is looking like an opportunity for many people. This is assuming that you have an existing business back. You can look at how you can expand that healthcare business in the United States. And then because it's healthcare, you may still be able to qualify for a national interest waiver. And so there are different ways in which we can explore. If you wanted to look at an O1, if you wanted to look at an E1, E2. So yeah, I think that there are a lot of options because healthcare tends to be by default a national interest of the United States. There's ways in which one can, avoid some of these restrictions.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lawyer Oni. Again, the Lawyer Oni's number is 347-503-0520. Those of you on Facebook and YouTube, please forgive me due to time factor. We couldn't ask your questions for you, but I tell you what, looking at the questions from YouTube, all your questions are similar to the ones that we had over here. So I know you have already heard the response to what it is. Example, the one from Dicta BBB or Dicta underscore BBB. Your question is pretty much, the same thing that people have already asked. Lawyer, at this point, I will let directors sign you out before you leave. And, our directors from Tatopsen will love to have a lot of word with you before, you head out. So, since they are the mother sponsors for the event, we always want to make sure that they are actually also getting some personal connection with our resource personnel. So, Director, can you please sign out Lawyer Oni for us?
And I also wanted to say something real quick, Doc.
Yes.
That's okay. It's been a pleasure tonight. Thank you so much. Someone asked they need a lawyer in Wisconsin. As we said, we handle all 50 states as long as it's immigration. So please feel free to reach out. You can reach out by email, by phone number, or going to the website. It's all listed in the chat. That's onylaw.com, ONYLAW.com. Email info@onylaw.com, and the phone number is 347-503-0520. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Director, can you please sign it out for me?
Thank you very much, Lawyer. Oh yeah, and we are so glad and honored to have you tonight. And we say we much appreciate. And also, thank you very much for the discount code that you've given our viewers and listeners. And I will pray that there'll be a lot of people tripping down your line. And I hope your appointment date will not be overbooked. But please,
it's always a good thing.
Take good care of them when they come. I really appreciate it as well. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
All right. Thank you very much. And this is the closing remarks from Tatopsen. And also want to say on behalf of HRTV, thank you so much, Lawyer Oni, for honoring our invitation and coming through to make this a beautiful presentation. God bless you. See you very soon right here. Somewhere in February, we will definitely bring you back. We're going to talk backdoor to just get you back over here and give us more updates as well. And hopefully get some feedback from how this session went with you. God bless you. See you again next time.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year, everyone.
Thank you. You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we draw the curtains with Dr. Oni. And it has been a very beautiful one. Like I said, a unique session, of course. We've never dealt with something that has to do with immigration business. And we just heard all the immigration pathways that can help us, set up our own business or try to get, change of status in terms of, business wise. We've heard all the beautiful terms of EB1, EB2, N1, NIW. Those are things that maybe we're not, conversant with. And now we got it. With that being said, next week, like I said, we're going to be talking with our very own Nana Kwame Akowa in terms of how to file taxes and be debt free. Most people file taxes and still run away and buy new cars with their taxes and still owe. And Nana Kwame Akowa is going to walk us through that. A week after that, we're going to talk to lawyer Benedicta on immigration law. God bless you. I am your host, Dr. PK OFORI-ASENSO, and big thanks to my producers, Nana Lord, for making this happen, and also all the producers at large as well, A-Class, Danny, and everyone involved to make this show a successful one. God bless you all. This is where we draw the curtains on Facebook and YouTube, but the Zoom still remains. So if you have any questions or concerns concerning startups, and this is where Uncle Jimmy will walk you through the process in the phase of answering all your questions for you. So please join and ask all your questions, because even if you have a contribution, please make it happen. God bless you.